Imagine if the secret weapon against skyrocketing diabetes rates wasn't locked in a pharmaceutical lab or hidden behind a $500 per month subscription to some biotech startup supplement blend, but sitting quietly in your snack drawer, looking suspiciously like a pistachio. Sounds too simple? Maybe even absurd? But the deeper we dig into microbiome science, the clearer it becomes. Changing what people snack on, even just a little, might trigger a microbial ripple effect powerful enough to shift public health trajectories. Let's start with the gut, where over 100 trillion bacteria are constantly digesting, synthesizing, signaling, and arguing over who gets to run the show. These microbes don't just help digest your food, they decide how your body handles it. They influence blood sugar spikes, fat storage, inflammation levels, and even how hungry you feel after a meal. And increasingly, we're learning that the microbiome may be one of the earliest and most powerful predictors of metabolic health, including whether you end up with type 2 diabetes. Clinical trials, particularly those using tightly controlled crossover designs, have shown that incorporating fiber and polyphenol-rich foods like pistachios can alter the gut microbiota in beneficial ways. These changes aren't subtle. Within weeks, participants can see increased levels of short-chain fatty acid, producing bacteria, better glycemic control, reduced insulin resistance, and lower markers of systemic inflammation, all without cutting calories or adopting full-scale dietary overhauls. What changed? One snack. A handful of nuts. No monk-like discipline required. Now take that effect and imagine it playing out not in 30 people under lab supervision, but in 30 million people with prediabetes. That's roughly the number of American adults currently tiptoeing toward type 2 diabetes, a chronic condition that costs the healthcare system over $300 billion annually and comes with long-term risks like heart disease, kidney failure, and vision loss. If even a fraction of that population could experience modest microbiome improvements through better snack choices, the public health payoff would be enormous. Here's the wild part. We already have the infrastructure to do this. Supermarkets sell pistachios. School cafeterias, hospitals, and government food programs could swap out processed snack foods for microbiome-friendly alternatives. Public health campaigns already exist to promote fruits and vegetables. Why not update them to include gut-friendly foods, backed by microbiome science? This isn't about restricting people's freedom to enjoy a cookie. It's about giving people and policymakers scientifically grounded reasons to reframe healthy eating as microbial support. The microbiome adds a new dimension to nutrition policy. It's not just about calories, macros, or even vitamins. It's about ecosystem management. When that ecosystem thrives, people thrive. And importantly, the people who benefit most from these changes, those with metabolic risk, food insecurity, or chronic inflammation, often live in environments where access to personalized healthcare is limited. A simple, affordable shift in snack habits might be one of the most scalable interventions we have. Of course, changing national eating behavior isn't as easy as throwing some pistachios into every vending machine and calling it a day. Social determinants, food marketing, education, and economic incentives all play huge roles. But the good news is, microbiome-friendly foods like nuts, legumes, whole grains, and fermented veggies are not luxury items. They're culturally diverse, relatively shelf-stable, and often already present in traditional diets. The challenge is getting people and institutions to value them not just as healthy but as strategic tools for shaping microbial and metabolic resilience. If microbiome research continues to build on current findings, we may soon reach a point where national dietary guidelines don't just talk about fiber or sugar. They name specific bacterial species we want to feed or suppress. School lunch policies could aim to promote butyrate-producing microbes. Public health advisories might include reminders to snack for your SCFAs. And insurance companies could even nudge members toward microbiome-friendly eating as a cost-saving preventative measure. So yes, your snack habit matters, not just for your waistline or your energy levels, but for the microscopic world that regulates your entire metabolic future. And if we zoom out, those tiny daily choices, swapping crackers for pistachios or chips for roasted chickpeas, could scale into a public health strategy more powerful than we ever imagined. In the war against chronic disease, maybe the snack aisle is exactly where the battle begins.